Hi there friends out in YouTube land, it's Asenva. Long time no see guys! So today guys, I'm here for an official Junky spot review. But what am I reviewing today? You're not ready to see what I have to review today. That's right guys, I got this really cool, crazy looking doll. It is the Hujoo Gato, and it is available on the Junky spot. And I'm gonna apologize right now. They don't come like this with the faceplate all jacked up. It's just, I will get to it once I get into the review. It was a battle taking off the head caps. I didn't want to have to go through that horror again of having to put it back on. But yeah, so let's get into some background knowledge, because a lot of people have talked about this doll and they're just kind of, some people, it's either you really like it and you think it's really interesting and awesome and you really want one, or you're really freaked out by it and you're not quite sure why. I actually wanted to know why. I was more of the why person, and I thought it looked cool. I mean, it was a cool concept, but I was just wondering why, because the cat face side of it is super cute. I really like it, and if it was like this, like, I think this is really cute. But I was like, well, why is there two? Well, why? There's actually a story behind it. It's actually not that long of a story, but there's a story behind it. It's kind of based off of mythology, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Roman mythology, and it's the two faces of Janus. I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly, which apparently has meanings, several meanings, meaning like January of past memories and future hopes. So it was inspired by the two faces of Janus. If you were curious as to like why, I mean, that's where the inspiration came from, and Emery actually asked Hujoo like a little bit more about it, and you know, they said that of course with the mythology stuff, and they just thought they wanted to express cute and adorable animals and humans in one body. So it's like a baby face and like the pet, you know, to kind of symbolize, I guess, that past and future. It was a really interesting concept for them to go with, and I'm glad I actually know the story behind it now, because I really didn't understand why. I didn't understand what the deal was, but that's why when you go to order it, if you get it on the Hujoo website, it's listed as the Janus Gato. They also have another one, which is the Janus Rata. As always, the super duper really cool thing about Hujoo dolls in general is that of course they're all made out of ABS, and they're super affordable. So if you're really into this and you really like it, it definitely will not break the bank for you. And it's really cool because they're strung also, just like typical ABJDs are. So pretty awesome, I think. But I think you guys want to see more of the review, so I'm gonna jump to the review now. But I hope you kind of enjoyed that little background information that I dug and asked Emery to research for me, because I was really genuinely curious as to why. On to the review! Let me go and lay down some stats for you as far as the body is concerned. It is 28 centimeters tall. The eyes that they typically will use is 14 millimeters. We have a chest circumference of 12 centimeters, waist at 10.5, hips at 14, and the foot is a 3.8 centimeter foot. So very much like our USD sized or 1/6 size friends, that's kind of where our friend will fall into. Again, like I said, they are made out of ABS, they're not made out of resin. So this is kind of like a plasticky material, which there's pros and cons to it. I think a definite pro to it would be that they're really durable. Not to say that they're like indestructible, but I would feel not as bad if I dropped her on the floor versus one of my resin friends on the floor. There's also, I actually haven't seen it. I actually probably should compare it with some of my other dolls that I've already owned from Hujoo that are ABS. Apparently they don't yellow like resin dolls do. Like I said, I'd probably have to look into that to see how my other dolls are doing. But I do know like resin over time with oxidation and exposure to the sun, they will start turning yellow. ABS dolls, I don't think not so much. They really don't do that. So everything else, I mean, they're typically strung just like our ABJD friends. They have elastic strings inside of them, so if I were to pull this apart, you would see the elastic string in there. They have jointing within their systems just like our other friends do. And like I said, the best part of it is the price. Like, I really can't get over how inexpensive they are. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of the things that we have on our little Hujoo Gato friend. It is a two-headed doll, two-faced doll, and like I said, I did break it open because I wanted to not have to go through the hassle of opening it on camera, but I will show you how it closes. The only qualm I have about this, I mean, everything else is going to be positives. The only negative that I have is that since it is a two-faced doll, if you have a face up on both sides and you're trying to remove, you know, essentially which would be the head cap, but you're essentially removing one of the faces, you need to be really careful with how you're gripping and holding the doll. I would probably really suggest gripping somewhere here by the ears and gripping by the sides of the face once you're able to pry it slightly open, because you could essentially, you know, mess up your own face up that you put on it because you touched it. I'm not gonna lie, it was a challenge to open this doll up, and I was actually really scared to open it up. There is no magnets. A lot of the Hujoo dolls, they use this peg system, and so it was not that easy to open. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But some things that I will be willing to try and that I'll share with you guys on my Facebook and Instagram if they work is shaving down some of these pegs and making it a little bit less tight inside of the holes that they go into. I think that's where a lot of the problems lie. I do appreciate, however, good job, Hujoo. I see some S hooks now, which is fantastic. But it's still, I think the mechanics of how they put this doll together, they weren't able to do an actual true S-hook system like you typically see in most other dolls. Instead, they do have like this locking piece. So this is just another extra piece of plastic they've done this before with some of their other dolls, I know. I think the Hujoo Amy has this little floating piece also as well. So if you want to remove the head completely, what you're gonna have to do is you would essentially switch this up to go sideways, and you'll see that there's an opening in the plastic right here. So there's the opening right there. You're gonna have to get something to stop the strings. So if I were you, I would probably recommend getting something and putting it here in between the base of the neck and the head, and then removing the top parts, because that's once you take off the S-hook and once you take off this part, this string will, there's obviously going to be a hole underneath. If I can slide it, but I'll show you. There is a hole underneath here. That's where everything is going to go sliding through. So you're going to need something to catch that, because if not, phew, all your elastic's going to go down into the body. And they do come very nicely strung. They're not loose whatsoever. So just a word of caution for there. And that's the only qualm that I have. I think they're still kind of trying to work out like what's a good system, and especially for something like this that has two faces that are connected to each other, it's kind of not really an easy feat to try to figure out how to connect them without, you know, running into some type of difficulty. But I think, like I said, if you get this doll in and you're really concerned about opening the head, I think that's probably what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to do some modifications to the pegs that are here. Like I said, I'm going to try doing some modifications to see if it helps. Maybe another thing too is if this wasn't so long. I don't know if that's going to help or not. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much how the stringing goes. And then of course there's going to be strings in the inside here that you can see right there in the middle that are for the arms. So these are actually down to the bottom of the legs. This is for all the body here. And then the loop of elastic that goes here for the arms. So, it's a beautiful face though. I love the human face. The human face is just really pretty. If you've seen the company photos with the face up on, they're really, it's really nice with the face up on, and I can only imagine what other artists out there would love to do with this. The cat face as well is really cute. I really like it a lot. I think when it's together, and I'll go ahead and I'll put it together, I'll show you putting it together. So the 2 pegs line up. And this is where I'm saying it's tricky on like handling it and putting it together, whatever you're gonna do. So that's it put together. I think this alone just looks really nice. I just think it's so funny that, you know, you could essentially turn it around, now you have like a new doll. So I guess it's like 2 for the price of 1, but at the same time it's kind of funny because then you have this one like looking in the back. So I think, like I said, this is definitely gonna be a special doll, you know, for people that like these kind of fantasy type dolls. God, you really can't beat the price. Like, the price is just way too amazing. I think it'd be great for people that want to do modifications and different things like that as well. But I really do appreciate just the sculpting on it, because once you flip this over, like, the ears here have an indent for the frontal facing cat face. But when you flip it over, there's still a slight indent here to give it the illusion that these are the cat ears for this face too. So I think it's just clever sculpting all around. I really think it's a really cool piece to have. As far as the rest of the body goes, if you're familiar with some of the other dolls that they've come out with, which there's like a lily, there's a rose, and I think those were collaboration projects with Fallen Doll. The bodies are pretty much the same as those other dolls. So side by side, this is actually the Fallen Doll collaboration with Hujoo, because I believe Fallen Doll did like the head for this one, but it is the same body as the one that Hujoo has here. So this one is in a normal skin color. I believe they only come in white skin color, so you can see the skin coloration difference there. But I mean, if you did happen to see my Fallen Doll Hujoo review with the rose and the lily, it's pretty much the same body. I really don't see any big changes between the two, other than the color. Which the white is a beautiful white. It's a very, very, very pretty white color. But the jointing and everything else, you know, appears to be the same. I really don't see any differences as far as like the sculpting or anything like that goes. She can sit reasonably well. I think she probably would be more successful like sitting like on a chair or like a ledge or something. That's her sitting on the side. It's kind of funny, like trying to position her and move her legs around sometimes feels like I'm playing with a Rubik's Cube. And that's her standing. She stands pretty straight, I think. I'm trying to like open her legs a little bit more to get her standing like with the open leg position. But she seems more balanced this way. So not too bad. I mean, that's considering the fact she doesn't have any shoes or anything that sometimes help with stability. I think she is a little bit top heavy when she has the cat face facing forward. But I mean, I guess that could work to your advantage if you're doing dynamic poses. It's just really interesting to me that it's just like, whoop, there's the human face. Whoop, there's the cat face. Pretty nice, I think, you know? And like I said, I think the best thing about these dolls that are from Hujoo, is that they're so, I mean, I hate to say it, like, I don't like ever calling dolls cheap, but I mean, they're really inexpensive. They're super affordable, which I think is probably the greatest thing about them. If you are interested in getting your own Janus Gato, or Hujoo Gato, you can find yours at the Junky Spot. That is www.junkyspot.com. If you have any other questions, comments, concerns, feel free to drop me a message here, or you can check me out on Facebook. I also have an Instagram, and I also have a Snapchat, although my Snapchat is not really doll related sometimes. It's just me doing random stuff. But I hope you guys have another wonderful, awesome day, and I will be shooting some more videos. I have about 2 more things that I need to review, and I will be posting those very soon. Have a good day, guys. Bye! Junky Spot review. I probably should put this together before I start. I don't know what I'm doing. I forgot how to make videos. Great! Everything is awesome. So, Here we are, Hujoo Gato, Janice Gata. Oh, I'm gonna go play with this somewhere else so you can go have fun right there. This is what happens. I'm trying to do reviews and my cat is in the background making noises.